But right, let's see. Let's see where Stop Killing Games is. We're getting off topic here because I've been playing too much bullshit with Total War Warhammer.
Hey, you know that saying, it's not paranoia if they really are out to get you?
Yes.
Well, I have another video I do not want to make, but I probably should. And this one is newsworthy, especially for me. I have behind-the-scenes news on the Stop Killing Games campaign. Okay, a quick refresher because I know this gets confusing. I founded the Stop Killing Games movement to challenge the legality of publishers destroying games which you've paid for. This has involved a lot of things which I've shown.
This man has literally become video game Jesus. He is dying for our sins.
In slides before, and that includes assisting with the European Citizens Initiative, which is the biggest thing going on with it right now. However, I am actually not the founder of the European Citizens Initiative. That would be a group of volunteers whom I'm in touch with. I'm ineligible to have an official role in the initiative.
Fucking Chads.
I'm just a major promoter of it. It's always been something separate. That's part of why it's called the Stop Destroying Video Games Initiative instead of the Stop Killing Games movement. So with that in mind, it was recently shared with me that the Stop Destroying Video Games Initiative has received a serious accusation from an anonymous source.
Pirate
the EU
software?
Commission relayed a complaint of it committing 2 violations. Yikes! Of false no-funding
Oh, sorry, it's the people in control of Pirate Software.
declaration and systematic concealment of major contributions. This declaration appears fundamentally incorrect based on publicly documented evidence of substantial undisclosed professional contributions to the campaign. Well, this is all news to me, but I don't know everything that's going on with the initiative. What's this about? Oh, it's about me! I'm the evidence, everyone! What do we have here? A quote: there have been many weeks on the campaign where I've been working 12 to 14 hours a day to keep things moving to get signatures. Damn straight I have, that is true. I've been running a rickshaw carrying people to the destination. Yes, I did say those words. It's unclear to me if the accuser thinks I've literally been running a rickshaw service or not. And you know what?
They would probably accuse him of that because I don't think anyone inside the industry of video games actually knows what the fuck they're talking about anymore.
I'm not going to tell them. They can guess that for themselves. They're doing a lot of guessing in this. You'll see. Media interviews identifying me as handling the standard day-to-day work of running the Stop Killing Games initiative and described as the primary strategic decision-maker and public spokesperson throughout the campaign. Okay, this is reaching. Since I apparently need to spell it out, when I say the initiative will do this or will do that, that's me assuming the initiative members are on board with what I'm saying and me taking my best guess. I've even said before on video, the initiative members are not a hive mind. They can disagree with each other, including me. They certainly listen to my input, but the decision on literally everything about the initiative is theirs. If I don't like something but they do, then I just have to deal with it. I have no actual authority. Nobody in the initiative takes orders from me. But get ready, because here comes the clown accounting. 15 to 20 weeks of 12 to 14-hour days. That's interesting that they call this a conservative estimate, because they're making these numbers up. They may as well be reading tea leaves.
They literally... oh my god, they're doing that, and actually, and like doing like technical analysis on a statement. This is the most insane shit imaginable. Man, this poor video game Jesus is getting nailed to the cross. And what did he do? They hated him for telling the truth.
It's true I think I've spent that many hours a day working on this campaign. For some weeks. But 15 to 20? That would have killed me. Some weeks were this high, others it was anywhere from 0 to 4 hours a day. I don't know. You know why I don't know? Because I never track my hours. Why would I?
Yeah, because he wasn't logging hours like this was a fucking job.
Nobody was hiring me for this. It's all volunteer time. The only reason I said 12 to 14 is because there were plenty of days where I would wake up, work the whole time, then go to bed, minus eating, exercise, and essential chores. And those days make me batty. I hate working that much. But I am impressed that they think they know my hours better than I do. Oh, but here's the good part. Professional rate, 50 to 75 euros an hour. Yeah, maybe that would mean something if I was a professional who had a rate for anything. Minimum estimated value, 6...
And you know what? I see nothing wrong with this. Honestly, I think he would deserve to be paid that much. That would be so impressive.
53 to 147...
What are they going to do if they put this into a court system and they do discovery and then they find out he was paid nothing? Then this whole argument falls apart and they're fucked.
1,000 euros. Oh, yeah. Okay, this one annoys me a bit because their low end, 63,000 euros, is more money I've made in any year in my entire life. Though, hey, I'm sure all kinds of people are worth more if they make up numbers about how much they should be getting paid from imaginary sources. But they're saying my volunteer work is worth that much, so by not reporting it, it's violating Article 17, yada yada. Their supporting evidence is media treating me as though I'm the leader, and me saying I've worked a lot on this. Well, it's true, I have worked a lot on this. But I must have said publicly that I'm ineligible to join the initiative at least 50 times. And this may surprise the accuser, but sometimes game journalists get details wrong when reporting on something. 12 to 14-hour day commitment during many weeks far exceeds any reasonable volunteer threshold. Yes, true, they're right about that. That isn't reasonable at all. I've hated this crap and I can't wait to work less on the campaign. It's only my perception that this is my one chance to fix the problem of destroying games that's pushed me this hard. But I have my limits.
A midwit wrote this. My project manager skills are going off. A midwit wrote this. I can tell immediately that a midwit wrote this. Or Reddit mod, one of the two.
Guys, professional time investment constitutes quantifiable in-kind contribution under transparency regulations. I guess good thing I'm not a professional then. Well, this is a very serious accusation, and it sounds like I should have logged my hours and made up hourly rates like my accuser did, huh? But wait, here's a thought. Why don't we check what the European Union's rules actually are? Who is considered a sponsor? Sponsors are people or organizations providing financial support over 500 euros. Okay, well, I've spent 0 euros on the initiative, just a crapload of time, so that's not me. Legal persons or organizations providing other economically quantifiable, in-kind donations, or non-economically quantifiable support to an initiative are also considered sponsors. Well, I've been advised I'm not a legal person, I'm a natural person. That sounds right, and I certainly wasn't representing an official organization. I mean, I haven't signed one form with Stop Killing Games on it, or for the initiative for that matter. Individuals providing non-financial support, such as volunteering, are not considered sponsors under the ECI regulation and do not need to be reported. Oh, what's that? That description, which is exactly what I've been doing? So the EU says the initiative has been following the rules this entire time? But what about this anonymous accuser?
How fucking dare you as a proud midwit? I resent that statement you made. Jimmy, you know how I know you're not a midwit? Because you didn't take what I said as a compliment.
You're saying the EU doesn't know its own rules. Is there a hidden clause here? Like you're not a sponsor unless you work really hard? So let's get this straight. We've got an anonymous complaint saying the initiative is violating EU law. I'm apparently in charge of the initiative despite being ineligible to even...
They're afraid. This right here, they're afraid. Remember, if the Stop Killing Games movement was gonna do nothing, they wouldn't be this afraid. This is fear. This is pure fear. This means that the Stop Killing Games movement could actually change something, and they were so fucking terrified of losing their dominant control over this. And having to be fair. This is so impressive.
Even join it, hence why my name is not on here. The accuser is making up how many hours I've worked on this, and are making up imaginary money amounts I've supposedly donated in kind, and their claims directly contradict the EU's own laws on this. And hey, plot twist, there's something I didn't tell you. The official organizers literally asked EU representatives if it was okay for me to assist them in the capacity I have been back in spring of 2024. Just to make sure everything was above board in case there was a problem.
Yeah, you better have that in an email or writing somewhere just so you could slap it on the desk and say, fuck you.
Or we needed to report anything. They said what I've been doing is fine. We've been doing this by the book, guys. So where did this complaint come from? Well, we'll never know. It's anonymous. But let me ask you, does anyone think this is just some concerned citizen acting independently here?
Absolutely not.
I mean, pretend all of these accusations were true. Would that end the initiative? Maybe. I don't know. Someone was gunning for us. This is a shot across the bow. Now again, this complaint is anonymous, so I'm not accusing anyone. I don't know.
Hold on, I got the same impression. It reeks of desperation, but why would they be this desperate over something like this? The lose condition doesn't justify the measures taken. It absolutely justifies the measures taken. What they're doing here. Because they're not looking to lose. They think that they can stack the deck by fucking with Ross over here, and by destroying the credibility of anyone that they can to any degree possible. They're trying to basically say that Ross is paid to do what he's doing and therefore is an invalid person to be involved in any of this, and therefore they can like get rid of all the signatures. This is fear, right? Yeah, you got to remember, these are not people acting in a logical capacity. These are people acting in a capacity of greed, Dog Rock. And greed makes people do insane shit. You ever heard the story about the baboon? Do you know how you trap a baboon? Bushmen have been doing this for years. Take a bunch of salt, hollow out a tree, right? Drop the salt in the hole. The baboon will reach in, ball his hand into a fist, and then he can't pull his hand out of the tree, right? And the baboon is so fucking greedy that it won't just open its hand and pull its hand out. And a bushman will literally walk up to the motherfucker. The level of greed behind this, the level of loss of control that they are terrified of, they will do everything in their power that they can to try and get rid of SKG. That's how scared they are. There are 2 EU politicians that have voiced their support of SKG. Do you know what those 2 EU politicians have? Children who play video games. And they're like, fine, God, if you shut the fuck up, God, I'm already paying your mom so much alimony. Holy shit, just shut up, I'll talk about it. Maybe you'll finally love me. I'm joking. It's the EU. That means they're probably white.
Who wrote it? But I'll just say the timing of this is awfully hot on the heels of an industry lobby group giving some very bad statements about the movement. In some cases, I think outright lying about it. But I don't know if it was them. Maybe it was a different lobbying group. Or maybe it was just some political hatchet man hired by the industry. But someone was trying to kill the initiative. Filing paperwork to the European Union accusing the initiative and myself of violating the rules, maybe even committing a crime, I'm not sure, that's no small thing. This is the industry playing dirty now. It reminds me of Battleship. They took a shot.
This was never going to be a fair fight. Remember, I've said this before about Stop Killing Games. That once Stop Killing Games is in place, in any capacity, you're getting in a fist fight with the fucking devil. And that's a fight that's going to last forever because the devil is immortal. It is always going to be a fight from now on. This is going to be a constant battle. They're not just going to roll over and play fair. That's not how this works. Not at all how this works. Every dirty, filthy, underhanded Nintendo tactic they can pull, they will do. You know how I can tell that the corpo suits are fucking retarded? Let's pretend ZeniMax shuts down Elder Scrolls Online. We know SKG wants the game in a playable state. Okay, you need a server for it. Why can't they just remove all the MTX stuff in the game and make it available in-game and then still sell the game and let players run their own server? They could still make money for years, but it's not about that. What if ZeniMax decides to make a game like ESO that's utter dog shit, that's worse than ESO, and they've now sunset ESO? That means that the target market for the people who would play their other piece of shit game would rather just go and play ESO. And they can't have that. Then ZeniMax shouldn't be in business. Yes, okay. But, counter-argument, when has a tumor inside a human being's body who has cancer, when has the tumor ever gone, oh, sorry, I shouldn't be here, and just killed itself? It's never gonna happen.
Hoping my battleship was here when it was actually here. So they missed, but I sure felt the splash. So why am I telling you all this? Well, this has me a little worried. I mean, this complaint doesn't scare me. We followed the rules and they made up the charges. I mean, hell, if they hadn't put appears fundamentally incorrect, this might have been borderline libel against me. But the fact that first we have the industry lobbying against us, then we're getting this attempted shot at us behind closed doors, makes me concerned about what's coming next. I mean, I haven't done anything shady that I'm aware of, but maybe that doesn't matter. If they can't find a real angle on us, maybe they'll make more things up. Maybe serious things.
How many weeks do we want to bet? How many weeks do we want to bet until Ross is accused of being a pedophile? Of attending a dirty party? How many weeks until the personal attacks start? 2 weeks. I think it's the EU, so it's going to take a little bit longer. I give it 8 to 10. Well, I think actually, no, when SKG starts really ramping up and starting hitting to the EU Parliament, they will try and drag this man's name through the mud in every single way they can. That's what I expect of them.
Things. At the rate we're going, I'm expecting the next news to be a Photoshop of me in a parking garage doing a handoff with a briefcase full of money.
See?
Now, what I've been told is if the industry can't kill the initiative, the next step is to throw so much dirt on us, members of parliament start getting scared to support it. So just because this is only the second shot at us, that doesn't mean there aren't 20 more shots coming behind it.
It's coming.
And I'm again reminded of how stupid this whole thing is when you consider what a comparatively low cost an end-of-life plan is. I bet whatever companies are spending on lobbying against us is more than it would cost them to have end-of-life plans for their games, especially in the future. Hell, I think a lot of end-of-life plans for games will be less than those imaginary euros I'm not being paid. But I don't know what's coming next, and it could get a lot worse than this. Who knows? I am so out of my league on this. I have never been...
I would be so mad if I was Ross. I would be so fucking angry that they told me I could be paid 63,000 euros for all this work I did, and I didn't see a cent. I wouldn't even be mad about the initiative. I would be like, you fucking tell me I could have been doing this for money? I'd be so mad.
Been a political target before, so this is all uncharted territory for me. Have you ever played a game that's getting harder and harder, and you can still keep up with it in the moment, but you're starting to think at the rate it's going, you're not sure if you can handle it in a level or two? That's
literally every single Total War Warhammer game when I start playing wide instead of deep.
The vibe I have right now. And for those of you who think I'm being paranoid, did you hear about that retro gaming YouTuber who was arrested for reviewing modded handheld consoles? Oh yeah,
we saw this.
That doesn't hit close to home for me at all. I mean, I don't have any handhelds, so I guess I'm safe there. But what about abandonware? If I play an emulated Commodore 64 game, are they going to send the cops to my place as step 5? Gotta love the games industry.
Yes.
But as of this moment, I still feel free to speak my mind, so I better make use of it. Here's the thing. The video games industry is worth billions. If they really want to smear me or the initiative, they'll find a way to do it. We're lucky their attempts have been so bumbling so far. I mean, I just showed you how these claims are false because they're lying about how the law defines my actions. Video Games Europe was almost certainly lying about this claim, and it was irrelevant. Almost certainly lying about their liability here. They were either so obtuse they couldn't understand what we're asking for when it's spelled out for them, or they're lying about not understanding it. Take your pick. Oh, and this claim. This one is a bit clever because it can't be disproven. You could say this about anything. Like, I could say it's prohibitively expensive for me to make a paper airplane. And you might say, what are you talking about? A piece of paper costs what, 2 cents? And I could say, yeah, but that would curtail my choice. Because I want to make my paper airplane out of the Magna Carta, and that's priceless. Thus, it's prohibitively expensive for me to make a paper airplane. I guarantee you that...
No, you got it wrong. You got it wrong here, Ross. It's prohibitively expensive because you want paper to make a paper airplane. But that means that someone's got to chop down a tree. Someone's got to mill the wood, process it into paper. And as we know, based on on Big Lumberjack, we know that that's just not possible for them to do. It's impossible for them to turn wood into paper. It's just not, it's unfeasible. It's economically non-viable. And there's no way in a million years people could do that.
That's the kind of logic they're using here if you were to really dig into the details. Oh, and let's let everyone know, this lobby group isn't even representing its members that well. BeamNG says they weren't consulted by Video Games Europe and disagree with their statement and behavior. Even Epic Games, yeah, that small company, you probably haven't heard of them, has come out saying that they're currently non-committal on this. So Video Games Europe wasn't representing them in their statement either. So if they're...
Do you see that? That's bitch behavior. That's bitch behavior. They did that on purpose. They left those people out on purpose because they knew that they would face pushback. That's like, I don't know if you've seen when high school girls fight with each other. It's the most terrifying shit in the world. Like, you know when guys in high school fight with each other, it's a fist fight and then it's over? High school girls do shit like they'll have an argument and then one of them will go behind the other one's back and say how she's a slut because she slept with all these dudes that she didn't. Right? And ruin her fucking life. And anyone who would have defended her is left out of the circle so that they don't have the opportunity to say anything back to this bitch who did this. That's what's going on here.
They're not even consulting their members. Who the hell are they representing exactly? Okay, some news as I'm editing. Ubisoft has responded to stop killing games. I was not expecting that. It's a lot of misdirection. I'll try and speedrun this. Okay, this is irrelevant. We're aware of your terms. It's not yet determined if they're legal or not. This is also irrelevant. This part is true. This is a widespread problem in the industry. The only thing unique to Ubisoft is they're trying to get away with this crap as a French company. Okay, even the EU Commission wouldn't commit as to whether these types of games are services or not when asked. So he can call these games services, but legally they might not be. Services tell you when they end. And the endless support argument. Okay, I'm undecided. If this was a senior developer saying this, I would 100% call this misdirection. I mean, hey, this looks awfully similar to that comment from Video Games Europe about endless support. This could be the industry's new playbook. If they can pretend to not understand what we're asking for over and over again, maybe they're hoping that will...
Yeah, if they lie loud enough and for long enough, and they can make sure that no one else has a dissenting opinion that'll stand up against them, then they can make the lie the truth.
Change the narrative. However, this is a CEO saying this, so maybe he really doesn't know how these games work. Hey, if so, he wouldn't be the first CEO to not understand how his company's products work. So
That's the perfect tie-in. That right there is the perfect tie-in. I'll have to find it later. I have the Logitech controller. And I thought about playing Subnautica using it. Just to see what would happen. Check up your... Oh, no, I don't put things up my ass. It's funny how they are just parroting what Pirates said a year ago. Yeah, because they watched the Pirate video and then just fucked off because they were like, this is the best defense we can find. Because just like him, they're lying sacks of shit.
I can't tell if he's just trying to gaslight everyone, or if he just doesn't know how these games are made, so he thinks they would need endless support. I kind of hope he actually doesn't know. Anyway, the point here is there's a lot of lying and shady stuff going on from the games industry against Stop Killing Games. And I guess now, me too. So if these attempts to shoot down the initiative keep happening, maybe assume the industry, which has been shown to be lying repeatedly, is lying again. And the whole point of their accusations is to make you forget the real issue, which is consumers are getting robbed by the industry. There are nuances to it, but the basic message is when you buy a copy of a game, you should get to keep it. And publishers shouldn't be able to destroy what you already paid for. This concept is so basic, it's still a joke we even have to fight for this. So don't let the industry throw you off the scent, especially in the future. If something doesn't pass the smell test, push back. I say this because things could heat up so much that...
No, don't push back like that. They'll put a dick in your ass. What you've got to do... Okay, there's two ways to handle this, right? You can either try and be upstanding, or you can start flinging shit. Dig up some dirt in these CEOs. Find out who's paying these fucking shills to post these messages. That's when we find out the anonymous complaint is invalid because it came from the US and it came straight from Pirate Software's desk. I wouldn't be surprised. But honestly, I hope they fight clean. I hope they win. But let's be honest, that's not how politics works. That's not how getting shit done works. How many dirty, filthy, fucking underhand tactics did all the regulators, all the companies who sold cigarettes in the past, in the US, what dirty, filthy fucking shit did they pull to make sure that cigarettes were listed as like a health product or whatever the fuck they were before the regulators had to step in and being like, all of you insane sacks of shit are crazy. Put a warning label on your goddamn products. This causes cancer. They lied. They manipulated. They paid people off. They squirmed. They squirmed like little fucking maggots. And they still lost. Here he goes, thinks all politicians are evil, because they are. Not all of them, some of them love Africa. What, love importing slaves from Africa? I don't know what you mean by love Africa.
Maybe in the future, I'm not at liberty to give commentary or defend myself like this. I've managed to get in touch with a few political insiders that know more about how these attacks work than I do. I intend to follow their advice. Right now, my plans haven't changed at all. But if I just go really quiet on some topics in the future, then I'm telling you why right now. It will be because the attacks are getting so serious that me saying anything might be a liability somehow.
Ooh.
I mean, remember, this was behind the scenes. The industry didn't make this one public. So who knows what the next thing they're planning is. Now, hopefully, I'm overreacting.
Man, I'm so sad. I can't believe that Ross committed suicide 5 weeks from now. I can't believe he got Boeing'd like that. I never saw it coming. That they put him in the Jeffrey Epstein cell and he hung himself with a toilet paper roll. Damn. That's real sad.
And the industry won't keep escalating this. This was just them taking a couple potshots at us, but I'm trying to prepare for a lot of scenarios. I mean, I knew there was a chance of something like this happening back when I launched the campaign last year. That's one of the many reasons I never wanted to do this. At least this is just me trying to get the most bare minimum common sense regulation in the games industry, and not trying to be a whistleblower on the defense industry. That would be bad. Okay, to end this on a lighter note, despite all this mess, we've been getting more and more support from European members of parliament. Here are some I've been informed of, though some of these I'm pretty late finding out. Marketa...
That's too many accents for a language. Oh, it's Romanian. That makes sense. They stole it from all the other languages. Okay, Romania, Czechia, Belgium, Germany, Greece, Bulgaria, Czechia. Okay, so we know Nikolai here still wants to play his femboy games, right? Marketa here, he's trying to be relevant because no one knows where Czechia is. Kathleen accidentally signed it after a night of being drunk out in the town. Sebastian, he just wants a World War II game where you finally get to play as the good guys. And when he gets his game, he doesn't want it to be pulled offline when the server stops working. Maria got bribed into this because Greece has no money. Nicola, he was out drinking with Kathleen. And Thomas, again, these two came up with a plan. They were like, we are going to make people know what Czechia is.
Gregorova's was from last year, actually, and had cool promotional art and everything. That's what, 4-bit color? But the big one is Nikolai Stefanuta, a vice president of European Parliament, throwing his weight behind the initiative and saying he signed it himself. Okay, I'm the wrong person to judge social media effectiveness, but 85,000 likes on Twitter would sound like a good day to me if I was a politician.
This man plays video games. He's young enough that he plays video games. I mean, maybe the last video game he played was Lemmings, but he definitely played video games.
This is what I mean about easy wins for politicians, guys. Keeping it real, most people don't care about video games either way, so this is pretty safe politically. But for the people who do, Stop Killing Games is advocating for a very popular position that's in line with existing consumer protection laws, and is narrowly focused, so this isn't going to cripple the industry either. The industry is fighting this because they'll fight anything that requires them to do something.
Yes.
Stop Killing Games is about as safe and popular as it gets in politics. And as a bonus, it's appealing to people who might not normally be involved in politics. That's an elusive demographic. And now's a good time to mention again that contacting members of European Parliament on the Internal Market and Consumer Protection Committee is probably the best thing we can do to push back. Though I've received conflicting information on which parties to contact and what subject lines to use. If you want to help...
I'm gonna be honest. I just had my fight or flight response activated here. Because this just looks like the inside of a fucking HR department.
Just try your best with contacting a representative of your country. Preferably someone who cares about consumer rights. Okay, that's it. I have no idea what's coming down the pipeline now, but all this resistance means we are throwing around some real power to fix things. So let's keep at it.
Well played. Well played. They're scared. There's fear. There's a deep fundamental fear occurring right now. And I like it. It feels good.